Hey guys, and welcome to episode number 64 of Limitless Studios TV. As always, check out the forum. You can go to forum.limitless-studios.com, and there our community is pretty active. We get several posts a day. Well, it's probably like 50 to 100 posts a day.
Yeah.
We've got instrument recording. You can post your mixes up on there, and people will critique them. And that way you guys not only get feedback from us, but everybody else in our community. So you can get multiple views on whatever you want to put up on the forum. We also have a classified section, so if you want to try and sell something, we have a classified section so everybody that's on our forum can check out whatever you're selling.
Yep.
So what are we doing this week?
We're going to show you a basic setup for like a budget, but still have good quality recording setup. So I guess we're going to go ahead and show you some of the things that you can get for your recording setup.
Yep, so I guess we could go over the interface first off. For the interface, we picked out for this lower end system would be the Fast Track Ultra, or no, Fast Track Pro.
Yeah.
Ultra would be a higher end setup.
Yeah.
But the Fast Track Pro is about 199 bucks. And we may be able to get it a little cheaper if you email us.
Yeah,
I think I got mine for about 150 bucks. And we've done a review on it, so if you search our videos, you can search for Fast Track Pro. But basically, it's a Pro Tools compatible M-Audio interface that has two mic inputs. It's got two SPDIF. It's got SPDIF out and SPDIF in, and then it also has 4 RCA outputs and inputs on the back, as well as headphone outputs. Phantom power as well, so you don't need an external phantom power unit.
Yeah, and it also runs off the USB bus too.
Yes.
So you don't need the power adapter.
Yeah, it has capability for a power adapter, but it doesn't come with one, and you don't actually need one. Unless you were running, the only reason you need a power adapter is if you were running this without a computer, like in a field setting or something like that, where you were only using the inputs and then going out the outputs.
Yeah.
That's where you would need a, or if you were running like a really low powered USB interface, because it does need a powered USB interface.
Mm-hmm. And on the preamps on the Fast Track series is also very nice and clear.
Mm-hmm.
It's very crisp sound. Probably one of the best preamps you can get in the lower price range.
Yep. So I guess we're going to move on to the microphone.
Yeah. The microphone we have here is just one of the industry standard mics. It's the Shure SM57. You can use these on pretty much everything from toms to snare drums to guitar amps, acoustic guitars even. Mm-hmm. And I've even heard of some people using them for drum overheads as well. Yep. And they're cheap. They're $99 new, but if you email us, we might be able to save you maybe $20 or so. Yeah,
they're fairly standard at $100.
Yeah, very durable mics as well.
Also, beware of buying these off eBay, because on eBay,
don't
there's
buy
copies.
one from eBay unless you absolutely know. And there's ways you can tell. Just look it up online. But I think the SM57 is like the most faked mic out there.
Yeah. So be very, very careful when buying this mic off, if you were trying to buy this mic off eBay.
If you're buying a new one on eBay, they're probably going to be fake. But most used ones that I've seen are real.
Yeah. And these also work decent for vocals too. So, I mean, this is actually much clearer than the SM58. We actually did a comparison of it. And this actually works quite a bit better on vocals than the SM58.
Yeah, the SM58, even with the windscreen off, was fairly dull, and that one is, the SM57 is much more crisp sounding.
Yes.
Much more presence. And then another thing you'll want to have right here is a pop filter.
Yep.
Particularly if you're using a condenser mic of some kind. And I guess we can talk about a lower end condenser mic that we actually reviewed a while ago, the Studio Projects B1. It's great as well. You can watch the review on that, but it has a nice clear sound as well. And for that, you'll want to use a pop filter, so you don't get the P's and the S's. And
it cuts down on your plosives as well as your high end S's and things like that. They're really cheap. and unfortunately the really cheap ones are like, they're either really, really cheap or they can get up to like $50
Yeah.
for like they have steel ones and stuff like that, but the low end ones are very cheap. They get a little tired out, so sometimes you have to fiddle with them to get them in the right position, but this is a necessity when recording vocals with a condenser microphone.
Yeah. And then for monitoring, you don't have to have studio monitors technically. For your lower end recording system, you're not really going to need them. But if you want to do anything serious, I recommend getting some kind of monitors, even cheaper ones. But the room is more important than the monitors themselves. So make sure you treat your room if you're going to get some studio monitors. But for this setup, we're talking about just cheap stuff. So the headphones here, these aren't exactly cheap, but you can get other isolation headphones to use. These are actually Sennheiser HD 280 Pros. I think they're about $100. I think I got these for $60 on sale. But these are isolation headphones. They isolate well for recording guitar cabs, drum sets, vocals even. And another thing with that is make sure you try to find a close back. I think all isolation headphones closed back?
Yep. If they're isolation headphones, they're going to be closed back.
Yeah, so definitely get closed back, because we've found that headphone bleed, like click bleed,
yes, very
comes
important
up in your recorded tracks. But these are fairly accurate headphones. Some other good ones are what's those ones that you have?
Yeah,
Direct Sound.
Yeah, the Direct Sound EX25s.
We did a review on those as well.
Yeah. So if you search for EX25 in our videos, we did a review on those, and those are made for isolation. Their purpose is for use with drummers and stuff like that. They're not the most comfortable headphones. I mean, they're not bad. They're not going to be like painful or anything, but but they're also extremely good for recording vocals, because you will get no click bleed at all. Basically, how those headphones work is the actual speaker, or the actual driver, is closed on the back with some sort of composite, and then foam on top of that, and then the actual headphone is closed back on top of that. So you've got basically 3 layers. They call it double closed back, but you basically got 3 layers of isolation from the outside. So if you're recording vocals, you're going to want some sort of isolation headphones like that. And those, the EX25s, are about $50.
Yeah, they're pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, and another thing you can use those headphones for is if you're recording drums and you want to hear the mic'd sounds of your acoustic drums while you're playing the drums, those are really good, because they block out pretty much everything from the outside.
Yeah. But you can also mix on those headphones. So again, you don't really need the studio monitors for that.
Yep. Little necessities are mic stand.
Yeah.
You're going to want a mic stand, mic cable for the SM57, obviously. And also, if you're going to record vocals, make sure you've got, we use a closet, and with some it's
fairly dead.
Yeah, some sort of fairly dead, not a square room. You don't want to record vocals in a square room.
Yeah, like a bathroom.
Yeah. Definitely
don't do that.
So a closet works fairly well for vocals, just somewhere that's fairly isolated.
Yeah. And actually for a budget studio, you'd probably be better off recording in a dead environment versus a live, untreated area.
Yes.
Let's see, what else is there?
I think that's
the quality of instruments that you're recording.
That's true.
Make sure you got a good, your singer is good, has a good voice, or can actually sing on pitch. If not, you can always auto-tune, but ideally you want to get the best raw tracks as possible. So.
Yes.
But guitar amps, make sure you have a nice guitar amp. Acoustic guitars, make sure you have a nice acoustic guitar, drum sets, etc.
So basically, the rule is garbage in, garbage out. You want to make sure that the original thing that you're recording is pretty decent sounding, or it doesn't matter how good your recording equipment is.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to do it. Did I miss anything? But that's a basic recording setup, a quality recording setup. You can get much cheaper, but this setup that we've chosen here is going to give you a really good sounding recording.
Yeah, and we've used all this equipment and have gotten great results. So if we can get it, then you guys can too as well.
Yep. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. We've gotten a lot of emails about people wanting to know, what do you start out with? And that's what we've listed here is everything you need to get started with good quality recording. So I think that's going to do it for episode 64. Keep on checking on the forum. Our live streams are every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern and Sundays around 3 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to chat with us live, we'll be there at those times.
Yep.
And we will see you next week in another Limitless Studios episode.